Thank you so much, Junior. What a lively conversation, family. We are having so much fun in studio with our mayors. We're honoring today, giving them their flowers now. You can check this out on live stream on YouTube, Radio Free TV. I want to give a big shout out to Floral Vision, 1140 Centinela Avenue. That's Lady Jackie and Nico over there, who's going to provide our flowers for you ladies, because we want to make sure that we give those to you so you know how much you are appreciated for what you do in your cities. We were just leaving out and we were speaking with former Mayor Yasmin Imani McMorrin. She's a councilwoman now, but that's how you kind of got into that position, from councilwoman to that position, about a year ago or so?
I was mayor from December 2023 to December 2024.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And they rotate there in Culver City. Is that how it works?
Yes. I like to call it a vote, though, because it's not always. It just depends on who has the votes and what's happening. Y'all know politics is always interesting. So I know sometimes folks are like, what do you mean rotation or vote? In like some of our 88 cities across LA County, like West Hollywood, Santa Monica, it's a similar system where the general population elects us to serve the city, and then we as elected officials elect whoever's in leadership, who's the vice mayor, who's the mayor. So in these other cities, the populace elects the mayor, and they have a term of 2 to 4 years. But for us, we serve a term of 4 years, and then leadership is for just 1 year.
When you stepped into that role, heavier, of course, council person is a lot of weight, but then the mayor, where were you drawing from with that? Where were you pulling from? I know you see these ladies, what they do, but you have your own mentors and you have to come in and make it your own.
Absolutely. And I was just so honored. First, I'm just honored to be in this space. I'm so grateful for y'all cultivating this container for us and celebrating us, because it's not easy to be in politics, particularly now. It's not easy to be a woman in politics, and it's not easy to be a Black woman in politics. So while I'm not a current mayor, I just have so much gratitude and appreciation for the work that these fellow women do, because there's so much that goes seen and unseen. And the night that I became mayor, I was so grateful for our supervisor, Holly J. Mitchell, who came to celebrate and speak in support of my leadership. And it's just so great, to have support from our county leadership, our Congress members, our Assembly and State Senate folks who just support. We need to have that cross collaboration.
That you can do it.
Absolutely. So it meant so much. I'm a single mom. My baby was, I think, 15 or 14 when I became mayor. So she almost brought me to tears when she, was saying her remarks. I didn't think she was going to speak, because sometimes she's a little shy
at that age, huh?
She's been on this journey from Spelman to law school to now. So it's just been really cool to just, have her be alongside this journey as well. And to be the first Black woman, right?
Wow.
Culver City was a sundown town.
Yeah.
And, we still have struggles with policing and folks feeling welcome in our town. So I really make it a point to emphasize that whether you live, work, learn, or play in our community, it's really important to me how you experience our city, and that all of our city services should treat everyone who interacts with our city with respect. So that's paramount for me.
Well, that's why it was so important that I had you include you in this conversation, because of just what people have the perception. And I would have never known that you were there if I hadn't met you. And I understand your perspective is different than all of you women. As African-American women, your perspective is different than any other person that sat in that seat. We have a message. This is a sisterhood. We have a message from your sister, LA Mayor Karen Bass. She's headed to Sacramento, but she wanted to share this message not only with you ladies, but with our listening audience.
Hello, everyone. Let me say a shout out to the KJLH family. Wish I could be there with all of you, and wish I could be next to my sister mayors. We stand in solidarity with each other, always see each other often at various community events. And I just have to say that I am sure that we all feel the same way in terms of the incredible honor and privilege to serve our communities in this role. All of us know that it's a tough role, and we all have our ups and downs, but let me just say, whenever I go through those tough moments, I just think about our ancestors. I just think about those who came before me, and there is no way I could compare the challenges that we face or that I face personally to what other people have been through. And we have been a resilient people overall, and that carries me on. and gives me strength every day. But also for me, and all of us have different issues that we're focused on. But the driving issue for me was the fact in our city of Los Angeles, 46,000 people slept on the street last night, and 4 or 5 of them didn't wake up. And black folk in LA are 9% of the population, and we're over 30% of the folks who slept on the street last night. So any day, I think I might be having it tough. I just think about that. It powers me on, and all of the good that we can do and the way our community feels when we represent them. So let me give a shout out, a hug, and a lot of love to my sister mayors. And I know we are all excited that we have a new sister mayor that's joining us. And I got to bring her down to LA after Barbara Lee, who speaks for me, is sworn in. And we have to have a celebration. So hello to the KJLH family. And I look forward to being there in person, live, for all that you do for our community every day. Kindness, joy, love, and happiness. Signing off.
Yes, thank you so much, Mayor Bass. It's such a sisterhood. I love that she's welcoming Oakland Mayor Barbara Lee.
She's awesome.
She's going to be amazing what she does. But you guys do have that sisterhood. When you run into, she talked about the problems that she's having with LA, but you each individually have things that are going on in your city. Do you reach out to each other? Do you call each other up? Do you, hey girl, wait a minute, this happened? How does that go?
We do.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we do.
We do. I mean, each of us individually have issues going on in our city, but at the same time, we can share our concerns because people who don't sit in our positions, for instance, we're in charge of the council members. And so maybe it's something that we wouldn't necessarily go to them because we need to make sure that they're on their toes. So we can only share things with other mayors.
Yeah.
As far as like, how are you guys handling this there? Certain things that are happening. It might be different, but it's still the same issue.
Same issue.
So we just kind of vent to each other sometimes on the phone, and just let it. It's okay. We're all dealing with it, and
that's
go
me
from there.
assertive, Gardena.
Yes.
I heard you guys chatting over there talking about working through some things earlier. I saw you were like, tell her how to do it. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. I love it.
I love her because she's bossy, okay?
That's Mayor Sharif talking about Mayor Lewis.
Yes, she's bossy, but I love her. I'll tell you, I call her. I can reach out to her. One thing I can say, I can reach out to her and ask her anything at all. And I know that I'm going to get an honest answer from her.
She's bossy with love.
Yes, with love. Yeah, with love. And I know that I'm going to get
as women, period, I think we get the title of being bossy sometimes. I tell them this, I just have excellent leadership skills. Is that
That's what it's called, leadership. Hey.
Who do you call upon, Lady Lula, when you need to talk and vent?
Besides these ladies, I find myself reaching out to our Congresswoman.
Mm-hmm.
I find myself reaching out to our county supervisors and our newly elected senator. She and I are very, very close. So when I have some concerns that are a little more than I think I can handle, I think it's always good for me to get advice. I do contact my mayor here from Gardena. Hey, girl. From content. And I said, how you guys handling this? And they in turn do the same. But
those are your sounding boards.
Those are my sounding boards. And you have to have a sounding board
sure do.
for female leaders. And that's what I do. When I was first elected, I must say my sounding board was the late, great Juanita Miller.
Yes.
Okay, that was my mentor, and I spent time with her, also with Congresswoman Waters.
Yes.
Because that's what they tell me. You're the Congresswoman Waters here in Carson.
We love.
I mean, it's direct to the point.
Yes.
Nobody likes it.
Yes.
But you don't need to wonder when we leave a room what I said.
Yes. Yes.
That has been my philosophy. It works. Some people get offended, but I don't like people leaving one. Did she say maybe yes? I'll tell you directly. It's either yes or no.
How important is it, though, as both of you, all of you rather, and even with you now being back in the councilwoman seat, that you are clear with your message? And how do you block out the critics who may say, oh, she's being bossy, or maybe she's, what you have to stay focused? How do you block out the drama? that they want to put at your table. Yasmin, why don't you share with how are you able to do that with I'm you're around the council members, you're young, and how did you get them to take you seriously about what you wanted to do? But they had to think highly of you. They voted you in.
Well, I'm a different kind of candidate for Culver City. I came in with I said, if I'm going to run, I'm going to run as myself. So very progressive ideals. I'm pushing us to create more housing. I'm really proud. Even just today, we're having a celebration of our mobile crisis team, which is a sort of alternative to policing and supporting folks who are in mental health crisis and our unhoused neighbors, because police were responding to a lot of those calls, which is really expensive and not always as effective. So I'm really excited to be celebrating that today at 11 o'clock at City Hall, just in case folks want to come in Culver City. But I'm really proud that took a lot of time to move forward. And, there are folks, because I really do believe that we belong to one another. And I know sometimes people go, oh, she's naive. Oh, this is not practical. But the data-driven dashboards that we've created in terms of just, creating alternative programs, creating new accountability tools, people said it wasn't possible, but we have some of them now. We don't have everything that we're still working, which is why I got reelected, but it's possible to create new systems that take care of our community in changing ways, because we know that our community is shifting, and it's our responsibility as local policymakers to respond to those shifts. So.
In talking about that, with that perspective, maybe that would not have been on the mind of one of your counterparts, a male counterpart, or, someone of a different ethnicity may not think the way you think. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to you, Mayor Serta, but because of our African-American culture and our struggles, I think you offer a different perspective because you can relate to everyone that talks to you. Some of our counterparts may not know what it is to struggle in this way or this way, but I think your perspectives lend so much to those positions. Do you feel like that? Do you feel that because you have to be there for everyone?
You do. I mean, absolutely. I was kind of mentioning earlier, sometimes as a female mayor, you kind of feel like you're the mother of the city. And, a lot's on your shoulders all the time. And people come to you for answers. And sometimes you have them, sometimes you don't. But I'm always very clear with everything, Mayor Carson said, people know when you leave the room exactly, where you stand with something. So that's important. And people know that I'm really big on policy, but I see the human component side, because on one instance, we have to follow policy and see it in black and white. But the human side of it is there are going to be some exceptions to the circumstance. And it's really important in our city that everybody is treated fair and courteous. And if nothing else, that's the main thing, that every person, of all 500 people who work in our city, they can tell you the same thing about me. That's first, the most important thing that we want to get across to our community.
Mayor Lula, let me tell you, I fell in love with her. I think everyone is in love with you. When they walked in, I was hosting, it was the women's brunch, wasn't it? The women's brunch? The conference, the house. Oh my goodness. I think that you made everyone in that room feel like they were the most important person talking to you. How are you able to just give so much of yourself and still be able to make those hard decisions when they may not be so happy with what you decide to do, but still they're in love with you and your love for them?
I love my residents, and they know that I love my residents. They know that I love them very much. And I always send out a message, and I say this not to say that I don't love my business community, but my residents elected me. And when I was elected, the one thing that I told them, there are 98,000 residents here in the city of Carson. All 98,000 cannot sit on this dais, but you can elect someone that loves you from the bottom of her heart. And that's what I've done. And so my residents feel that when I meet and greet them, I treat them all the same. Hug, kiss, talk. If they have an issue, they have my cell number. They can contact me anytime they want to.
You're giving out your cell number too?
Yeah. I'm their mayor. I'm their mayor. And it's no secret, and that's what I get messages. They say, call the mayor, because I return my phone calls. I treat them as with the utmost respect, and I embrace them. I love my residents.
What about when you get the critics, though? How do you handle that? Because we're all human, right? And, that has to hit somewhere, especially when you feel like you're doing everything and you're making those difficult decisions and you have the critics. Where do you find the strength to still get up, still have grace, and still do what you have to do? Who wants to talk first on that one?
I mean, I will. Okay. You're always going to have critics. And you're always going to have critics, come after you for whatever reason. Just because they just want to be challenging. Maybe they don't like what you're doing. And everybody loves to sit here and go, if you won't do what we say, we're not going to elect you in. And you're like, okay, but I'm doing what's right. I'm doing what's right for everybody, not just for you alone. So that's the thing at the end of the day, you always have to remember, why are you doing this? And it's for the populace as a whole, not just to satisfy one person or what their needs are. So, and people are going to always say something about you, whether you're a mayor or you're just the neighbor next door. They're going to criticize just because. So.
Well, let me tell you, Mayor Sharif, I really wanted you in on this conversation because I have traveled all over the world. And the last place I think I was in China. And I was going out, and let me tell you, they knew Compton. They wanted to know about Compton. Compton is on everyone's lips. They want to know about the culture. They want to know about NWA. They want to know everything. And I think you were saying that someone, Mayor Serta, you said your husband was way over where?
In Iraq, and a kid walked up to him and said, Compton? And he said, West Side, in the desert.
That's a lot of weight on you, too, to represent for Compton.
But, it's great. Mm-hmm. I love it. I tell everyone that I embrace the good and the bad.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, because that is who we are. Mm-hmm. And but I see us moving in such a dynamic manner until it really just touches my heart. And I look at the people there. I love I listen to Lula. Everybody have my phone number. Mm-hmm. Everybody, I think, have my phone number. I get phone calls late in the night. They call me up and they'll tell me, "Oh, did you hear the street racing? Did you hear this?" And I know that they are there for me. Yeah. They're my eyes and my ears out there, mm-hmm. because I can't see everything.
Yeah.
But they are there, and they're my eyes and my ears, and I really appreciate everything that they do. But NWA, I mean, I love them. I love every one of them that have actually came through that city, and I look at what they've done with their lives.
That's the fabric of that city.
That's the fabric of that city.
Builds it up.
Yeah, it is. And no matter what it is, our job is to try to take it to another level. And that's what I look at every day, is that our job is to take this city to another level and to carry the NWA along with us, because that's what's got us here on the map. Mm-hmm. Like you said, everybody know who we are.
Right.
Yeah, they do. Everybody know who we are. And no matter where you go. But to me, I'm excited about it. To know that they know who we are, mm-hmm. because we need to be known throughout the world who we are, and they also need to be. But we need to be known about the good things that we're doing as well. And so that's what is exciting for me, is that I know that we can do great things for the city, and that people are looking at the great things that we're doing, as well as looking at whatever else that has taken place there in our community.
I want to know, what do you do for yourselves? Because you give so much each and every day you wake up. What is it that you do? What are your outside hobbies? What are your other passions? I know your families are like, hey, we share them every day. How do you manage that? Where you manage family and what you do, but where's your time for self? What do you do for yourself? What are some of your hobbies?
Well, for me, I put it on my calendar just as though it's a meeting time.
I love it.
It's called me time.
Mm-hmm. Mayor Lula, she's got her me time.
I put it on there, and they say there's a private appointment on, and I do everything for me. From facials to massages to pedicures to traveling to eating to enjoying life, because I enjoy it to the fullest. I spend time with my children. They're grown. Love my grandkids to death.
I know. Don't we?
Jesus Christ.
I have a 14-month-old.
My kids, had I known, I would have had them first.
I had to have grandkids before I have kids. Without having kids. She and I laugh about that.
That's what I say. And my kids, my son, he told me one time I was doing something. He was disciplining one of the kids, and I kind of got on him about him. He said, that is not the lady that raised me. That's just some old lady trying to get into heaven.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, you're right.
Oh, wow.
I'm definitely trying to get there. Believe you, stop telling you that.
Oh my goodness.
So I enjoy traveling.
Oh my God.
What about you? What do you do, Mayor Sharif?
You
for
know,
yourself?
wow. Sometimes I wonder, do I have some time for myself? I do. Honestly, one of the things I never miss, and my son tells me all the time, she's never going to miss a hair appointment.
The hair's gonna be whipped.
I don't care what's going on.
It's looking real whipped right now. That's looking good.
My son always tell me, I don't care what's going on. She's going to that salon. She don't care what's happening, and I don't care what I have to do to make sure I
But
get.
that's your time.
That's my time to myself, and that's for me because I'm like, hey, I want to make sure I look good for me, not just for anybody else, but myself as well.
Yeah.
And so I'm definitely going to take time, no matter what, and I'm going to take time to go get my pedicure and get my nails done.
Everything.
I'm taking the time to get it done. Yes.
So what do you do?
You know, believe it or not, my residents don't even believe I take a day off, but because if I'm not at City Hall, I'm on social media or something. But sometimes what I do is my fiance and I, we take a drive, and we'll drive like a one-day trip up north and something wine country, or we'll get on the train and we'll go to Santa Barbara and just spend the day. And it's just that one time of just getting away from everybody. And I wish I could say I don't take phone calls along the way up there, but I do.
You do. I just work on you on that part.
Yes. You know, 24/7, this is a job that we do. We don't turn it off.
Signed up for it. Yeah.
It's not 9 to 5. I tell people all the time, you get those phone calls at nights when you go to the grocery store. When I step out my front door, my neighbors are waiting on me, so it's a lot of that. And so we don't turn it off. The moment I got elected, I went to work. So when we can just kind of take off and go for that drive and just, drink coffee all the way up and just kind of relax, totally decompress. That's what I like to do. I call it my sneak away. So
Mayor Yasmin, Councilwoman Yasmin, what do you do for self?
Not enough, I gotta be honest, but that's all right. I'm working on it. I feel like it's because some of our roles, we're part-time in Culver City. So I have a day, I work for Children's Defense Fund California in my day job. I'm Director of Education Equity. I have a teenager, a cat, and she's crazy, but I love her. And, I try to sneak in, sleep is very important to me. I got to get enough sleep. I've just started back on my fitness journey. So if you see me on the Culver City stairs, wave, say hey, because I'm there in the morning sometimes. So I'm proud of that. Because last year as mayor was busy. I was not taking care of myself at all. So I don't know. I'm evolving in this journey, seeing what's next. But we have 4 more years together, Culver City. So let's see what happens.
We're going to get her out there more. We're going to get her out there. When we come back, family, we're going to find out what they want their legacies to be, and we want to talk about more of their passion projects. It's Adai Lamar, Radio Free, 102.3 KJLH.